Hey, how's it going out there? In this video, I'm going to discuss the new process available under the Biden administration on how an immigrant who is married to a U.S. citizen and their child can apply for what's called parole, so they can get a work permit and also apply for a green card without having to leave the United States. My name is Rodrigo Canido. I'm an immigration attorney and I do videos on different immigration topics and how to get legal status in the United States. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to subscribe to this channel. All right, so what exactly are the benefits of this new process? So one is, as I mentioned, you can apply for parole, which is supposed to last for at least 3 years, all right? And during that time, you can apply for a work permit, and you should also be able to apply for a Social Security card as well. The other benefit is that you can also, under this program, if you qualify for parole, you can apply for a green card without having to leave the United States, all right? So I will actually include a link below to the USCIS website, which has more information on this particular process. All right, so who exactly qualifies for this? So let's talk first about the spouse. So again, one has to be married to a U.S. citizen to qualify, but there's other requirements as well. So one is, if you're married to a U.S. citizen, if you're an immigrant married to a U.S. citizen, you had to have entered the United States without admission and without parole. Another one is that you must have been in the United States for at least 10 years as of June 17th, 2024. And also, you had to be married to a U.S. citizen as of June 17th, 2024 as well. Now let's look at the child of the immigrant married to the U.S. citizen. All right, so for the child to qualify, they also cannot have entered the United States with admission or parole. All right, they have to be under the age of 21 and not married. And when their immigrant parent married the U.S. citizen, they must have been under the age of 18. All right, so very specific requirements. That's what immigration is currently stating right now. Okay, additional things to keep in mind are if you have any type of criminal history that may make you ineligible to apply for this form of relief as well. All right, so certain crimes may make you ineligible. And it's also important to know that if you are currently in what's known as removal proceedings or immigration court, you may also be able to apply for this type of relief as well. All right. They said that what they're going to look at is what's the reason you are in immigration court. Okay. But just because you're in immigration court, that doesn't mean that you do not qualify. You may still qualify to receive this type of parole. All right. So say you're, looking at the requirements and you think you qualify. So what's some things that you can start to do to prepare, potentially to apply for this new benefit? All right, so let's look first at a spouse. So as I mentioned, if they want to qualify, they have to show they've been physically present in the United States for 10 years as of June 17th, 2024. So some documents that they might start to gather is bank statements. So if they're using a bank like Bank of America, for example, those bank statements are really helpful to show physical presence because they have dates of transactions using an ATM, deposits, payments made, so if you can gather those types of bank statements, they would be really helpful to show you've been physically present in the United States for at least 10 years, assuming you've had that bank for that amount of time. Another piece of evidence that might be helpful are tax returns, right? So your tax returns has your name, and usually has the address of where you live on those tax returns, so that may be helpful as well. Another one is if you're in school, maybe you've attended college, graduate school, those transcripts will have your name, dates, that type of thing, so that could also be helpful to show you've been physically present in the United States for the amount of time that immigration is requiring. All right. On top of that, of course, you have to show that you're married to the U.S. citizen, so of course, a marriage certificate. I would also say if you were previously divorced, you might want to submit evidence of that. Obviously, if you were previously married, you need to show that you legally divorced so you could, marry again. Other documents could be birth certificates, passport. These are identifying documents that are generally required in applications with immigration. So those are some of the documents you'd need if you're the spouse. I would say if you have some type of criminal history, you might want to wait to see if immigration comes out with some more specifics on what types of crimes may make you ineligible to apply for this form of relief. All right, so that's the spouse. Now let's look at the child. So a child that wants to apply for this, some of the basic documents are, a birth certificate, a passport, right? That's really important because those have the relationship, the required relationship, with the immigrant parent that's married to the U.S. citizen, and then also that will show their age, right? Because the age is also important to make sure they qualify based on age. All right, and again, I would say if they have some type of criminal history, yeah, you might want to hold off on preparing all these documents just to make sure that whatever crime you have in the past won't make you ineligible, right? So you don't want to be wasting your time gathering documents if it turns out that, hey, maybe you're just not eligible for this type of relief. All right, so those are some of the documents that you could start working on. What immigration is saying right now is that the actual application for this will be available in the summer, later this summer. So that could be maybe in July or August. I have not seen them give a specific date yet, but they're just saying later in the summer. All right. So if you would like more information about this or would like to schedule a consultation, my contact information is below. All right. It is, there's a fee for it, but if you want something more specific to your particular situation, get some more information that may help you, you can check that out. But regardless, thanks so much for watching. I hope you got something out of watching this video.